Good morning. Welcome everyone joining us here today, and also welcome to those joining us via Facebook Live and Periscope. Tanse, Ariel Smith Nia. Hello, my name is Ariel Smith, and I'm the Executive Director of imagineNATIVE. Before we go any further, I want to acknowledge that we are gathered today on One Spoon Treaty territory of the Mississaugas of the New Credit, and the sovereign nations of the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Wendat. Toronto, whose name is derived from the Mohawk name Takaranto, meaning where there are trees standing in the water, has been a meeting place for diverse Indigenous nations for thousands of years. We are grateful to hold our festival in this territory. I would like to acknowledge our presenting sponsor, Bell Media, as well as all of our other cherished public, private, community, and individual sponsors. And a very special thanks to our amazing, dedicated staff and board of directors. I'd like to also draw attention to this year's beautiful festival campaign, which is somewhere on the door coming in. There's a big, and it can also be seen on our website. This year's beautiful festival campaign was inspired by artist and superstar beadworker Bev Koski, who served as our artistic advisor, and the campaign was brought to fruition through the hardworking and talented team at Beehive Designs. This design is based on the idea of diverse Indigenous peoples coming together to celebrate and experience media art. It is styled to look like beadwork, and if I had it here, you'd notice that in the corner there is a wrong-colored bead, and this is a teaching, sometimes referred to as a spirit bead or humility bead, and it is often intentionally put into a piece of beadwork by beadworkers to acknowledge that nothing, not even beautiful things, are without flaw. So I'd like to just take a minute right now to play our festival trailer. Very exciting. The campaign will also be reflected in our festival catalog, which was also Hive Studio. The catalogs will not be ready until the festival, but we have pocket guides available here today, and they will also be distributed throughout the city and contain a full list of programming as well as pertinent information regarding the festival. We'll again have a festival app this year for iOS, Android, and BlackBerry, which will allow you to set up your own personalized festival schedule and will also alert any changes or announcements regarding festival programming. The app is free and downloadable from your app stores and available now. There have been some exciting structural changes at imagineNATIVE this year. Jason Ryle, who has been the executive director for 6 years, has latterly moved into the position of artistic director, overseeing imagineNATIVE's programming and artistic initiatives. Frank, formerly the manager of festival initiatives, has moved into the role of industry director to oversee the festival's industry series and year-round marketing and professional development programs. And I came on as the newly appointed executive director in August of 2016. Thank you. I have had the pleasure of working with imagineNATIVE in the past as a programmer and workshop instructor, and am very honored to be involved in this new capacity. imagineNATIVE will also be moving in early 2017 into the Commons, a newly built multidisciplinary art space housed within the 401 Richmond building, the building that we're in right now today. The creation of this purpose-built facility is a collaborative initiative between imagineNATIVE, Real Asian, SAVAC, FADO, and VTAPE, as well as being the new location of imagineNATIVE's office. The Commons will be a media and visual arts presentation, exhibition, and research facility dedicated to screenings, exhibitions, performances, lectures, training, and educational programming, and will open to the public in late 2017. imagineNATIVE, along with our collaborative partners, are currently working to raise the last 20% of the funds required for building the new space. So if you are interested in supporting this initiative, we would love to speak to you about more ways that you can get involved. And continuing with the theme of what is new and different at imagineNATIVE, I'd first like to ask if I need a different mic. Well, is it working? It seems to be cutting out a lot. Yeah, no, but it's like actually cutting out. Okay, it's not me, it's the mic. Check 1, 2, okay. Thank you. So continuing with the theme of what is new and different at imagineNATIVE, I would like to inform you about 2 new festival initiatives. Thanks to the generous support of the TD Bank Group, we have been able to launch the TD Bank Group Access for All initiative. The Access for All initiative has allowed us to lower our ticket prices this year. All regular priced individual tickets to imagineNATIVE film screenings are now only $5, down from previously $8, making them one of the most affordable movie ticket prices in Toronto. TD Bank Group's Access for All initiative is intended to provide a greater opportunity for a larger number of individuals, including youth and low-income people, to experience imagineNATIVE's film and video programming. As in previous years, imagineNATIVE will also continue to offer free tickets to any regular film screenings scheduled before 6 p.m. to students, seniors, and self-identified low-income people. This year, imagineNATIVE will, for the first time, have a team of elders and Aboriginal health support workers on site for the entire festival in order to provide support and traditional medicines to those who need it. As a result of colonial violence, many Indigenous people have experienced trauma. imagineNATIVE greatly values the importance of healing and cultural safety and understands that some content presented at the festival may be upsetting or triggering for direct or intergenerational survivors of trauma. For this reason, imagineNATIVE has partnered with Ontario Indian Residential School Support Services to bring in elders and support workers. These services are for anyone, including non-Indigenous people, requiring emotional support or assistance or smudging. Verbal disclaimers will also be given during introductions for any programs containing scenes of graphic physical or sexual violence, or that deal with the particularly upsetting issues of residential school, 60s scoop, child apprehension, or the epidemic of missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit people. So moving on now just to some general information about the festival. The 17th Annual imagineNATIVE Film and Media Arts Festival runs October 19th to 23rd. It's very soon. We can see we could see before the countdown on the website. Starting on Thursday, October 20th, the vast majority of our programming will take place at the TIFF Bell Lightbox Cinema, located at 350 King Street West between Peter and John in downtown Toronto. As in previous years, our opening night gala on Wednesday, October 19th, will take place at the Hot Docs Ted Rogers Cinema, formerly known as the Bloor Cinema. We will also have programming at a new venue this year that we're excited about, which is the Artscape Sandbox, that is conveniently located directly behind the TIFF Bell Lightbox. It's a multidisciplinary presentation space. It's quite nice and very conveniently located, so if you have to go between programs, it's very easy to get to. All venues for festival artistic programming are completely wheelchair accessible. As is customary, our festival will kick off with our welcome gathering on Wednesday, October 19th, at 2 p.m. at the Native Canadian Centre located at 16 Spadina Road, just up the street from the Spadina subway station. Our welcome gathering this year is being presented by CBC and will be hosted by CBC's own Candy Palmeter of both the Candy Palmeter Show and Q on CBC Radio 1. Our welcome gathering will include an opening prayer and traditional welcome, powwow dance exhibition with host drum smoke trail, Indigenous craft market, and a community feast. And we hope you can all join us for this grassroots community celebration. As mentioned, our opening night gala screening will take place at 7 p.m. at the Hot Docs Ted Rogers Cinema, located at 506 Bloor Street West at the corner of Bathurst and Bloor. Our opening night screening sponsor is APTN. Following our opening night screening, we will have our opening night party, which is being held this year at Orchid, located at 82 Peter Street between Adelaide and King, so everything is really within walking distance. Doors open for the party at 9, so you should come join us for food, drinks, and dancing. If you purchase a ticket to the opening night screening, your ticket stub will get you into the party for free. And if you can't make it to the screening and just want to join us for the party, it's $5 at the door. So I'd like now to invite up my esteemed colleague, the artistic head of our organization, Jason Ryle, to speak about programming at this year's festival. Thank you. Do you want me to sit down?
Yeah, sit down. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Ariel. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It's really exciting not to have to go first today, so thank you, Ariel, for that. I'm really excited. I think after 6 years of being ED, imagineNATIVE really has grown to such a point that necessitated this change. So I'm very optimistic about the future of this new structure with Daniel, Ariel, and myself, and I hope you are too, because there's some amazing things coming down the pipe. Before we get to the programming overview, I'd like to thank my fellow programmers, Heather Haynes and Pauline Clegg. They did a phenomenal job as well. And of course, to our programming advisors, whose advice we really relied on throughout the process. It was a difficult year. We say this, I think, every year, but it's very true. We get a record number of submissions every year, it seems, and this year was equally so. We also reduced the number of programming slots this year, which was in response to audience feedback. Over the past couple of years, we heard loud and clear that there was too much to see, so we reduced it slightly as best we can, and very happy, I think, with the programming on offer we have today. So overall, we have 108 works in total in film, video, digital media, and audio. Of those, 96 are film and video works, and all programmed works are directed, produced, and or written by an Indigenous person. And this year, in terms of our film and video, all but one have an Indigenous director, so it's phenomenal. There are 72 different Indigenous nations represented from across Canada and around the world. 53 of which are Canadian-made film and video, and a majority of the film and videos created this year are by Indigenous female directors, so it's at 51%, which is an incredible stat, and I think it's a stat that a lot of other festivals have been working towards, but I think for imagineNATIVE, in past years, I mean, we've always excelled in this particular area, and in past years, we've had as much as 70% Indigenous female directors in attendance. So it's been a great turnout and great representation of the female voice. We have 27 world premieres, 15 international premieres, 10 North American premieres, 12 Canadian premieres, 12 Ontario premieres, and 3 Toronto premieres. Another really interesting stat that we had from our programming this year is that a full 50% of the programmed works are made by emerging filmmakers, which is the highest in our history, which is a great goal. We previously mentioned our opening night film, which is Angry Inuk, directed by Alethea Arnacook-Barrell. This is a phenomenal documentary which won the Audience Choice Award at this year's Hot Docs, and we're incredibly pleased to open the festival with Angry Inuk this year. Alethea will be in attendance, which we're very excited about. Our closing night film is the North American premiere of Bonfire, directed by Dmitry Davidov, who's a Yakut filmmaker from the Sakha Republic in Siberia. It's a phenomenal, here it is, yes, a phenomenal dramatic film, and I think really unlike many that you've seen on screen, The Sakha Republic in recent years has really invested heavily in Indigenous film production, and this is a region that we're going to see much more works from. So we're incredibly honored to have this film as part of the festival. Excuse me, Dimitri will also be in attendance. And each year we shine our spotlight on a different region across the country with strong and different Indigenous nation or region. And this year our international spotlight is shining on Greenland. And we're very happy to have as guest programmers this year Pipaluk K. Jurgensen and Emil Hertling Perinar. These two are really spearheading the push of Greenlandic Inuit cinema around the world. And again, here too is a region that has an explosion of Indigenous-made film and video works in the past 10 years. The program features 4 programs. There they are. The program includes 4 programs, the first of which is Sume, The Sound of a Revolution, which screened at imagineNATIVE 2 years ago before going on to have a great, successful international festival run, and won 2 prizes at the festival that year. So it's really a must-see documentary directed by Inuk Silas Hogue. The second Greenlandic program is a really special film. It's Tikek Kirilek Mikilarak Equikok, or forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger. We call it fingers in this particular program. And this was the very first feature film to be made in Greenland. And it was literally made for, we converted, 100 Canadian dollars. So it's a phenomenal grassroots feature documentary by Uyarek Fleischer, which was made in 2008. The third program in the Greenland Spotlight is a collection of short films, including Sini Luarit, Good Night, which again was historic, being the first short dramatic film to come out of Greenland, which was made in 1999. The fourth program is one we're calling Greenland Rising, which features a presentation by Pipaluk and Emil that explores the history and future of Greenlandic cinema and features a work-in-progress screening of Anari, directed and produced by Pipaluk, which I'm really excited about. I mean, the clips I've seen, it's a phenomenal story, so please attend that. That's a free screening happening on the Sunday of the festival. Giving an overview of feature films in the festival this year. It's a big year for features, and I think what's been really exciting over the past few years is the number of Indigenous-made feature films in production have been made, and this is certainly something we want to see grow and escalate over the coming years. So this year we have 9 dramatic features, which is by far a record for imagineNATIVE, 7 documentary features, and 16 features total, which again is a record. Encourage you all, for all our programming, to visit our website, our app, our catalog for full details. But some additional highlights in addition to our opening and closing, and those in the Greenland Spotlight, include from Canada, The Land of Rock and Gold, which is a gritty family drama set in Northern Ontario, co-directed by Janine Windolf. Born to Dance, which is the smash hip-hop dance film from New Zealand, directed by Tammy Davis. Spear by Stephen Page, a remarkable dance film that you really have to see on screen. It's stunning. Malig Lutit, which is the new film by Zacharias Kunuk, which is, again, an incredible reimagining of the John Wayne Western, The Searchers. It's so fantastic. Three Wise Cousins, which is another smash hit from New Zealand and Samoa, directed by Stallone via Oga Iwasa. And this film was made for $80,000 and has since gone on to gross over $2 million at the box office in New Zealand and Australia. So we're very happy to have its Canadian premiere at imagineNATIVE. We also have The Sun at Midnight, which is produced by Amos Scott and set in the Northwest Territories. And this is a remarkable drama about a young fish out of water in a landscape she has no knowledge of. It stars Gawanahere Devery Jacobs from Rhymes for Young Ghouls and Dwayne Howard, who was in The Revenant. And it's a big year for Gawanahere this year. She has her starring role in The Sun at Midnight, including a supporting role in The Land of Rock and Gold. And we also have her first short film as director, which is called Stolen, which is in the Femme Total program. And we're very happy to have Gawanahere here, who's going to come up and say a couple of words.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Again, my name is Devery Jacobs. I got a text from one of the programmers, Heather, this morning. She's like, "Hey, are you going to the press conference this morning?" And I had just woken up yesterday. I got in from Yellowknife from screening the Sun at Midnight, and I was like, "Press conference? What are you talking about?" So I was just like, threw on a shirt. I came over here, and thank you for having me. It's really exciting. There's a lot of firsts. So first-time feature directors, Janine Windolf and Daniel Redenbach directed The Land of Rock and Gold. First-time feature director and producer, Amos Scott and Kirsten Carthew, who directed Sun at Midnight. And then my first short film with my directorial debut, Stolen. It's an exciting time, and it's also my first time having 3 projects within the same film festival. So it's going to be a crazy weekend, and I'm really excited and really thankful and honored to be a part of imagineNATIVE this year. And I look forward to seeing all of you out there. I think that's all I have to say. Thanks.
Thank you. Wrapping up the dramatic features, we also have The Northlander, which is a post-apocalyptic, futuristic science fiction by first-time feature filmmaker Benjamin Ross Hayden from Alberta, and features a roster of our biggest stars, including Roseanne Superno, Michelle Thrush, and Nathaniel Arcand. On the documentary feature front, we have Tekuhane o Tetepuna, which is Spirit of the Ancestors from Chile by Leonardo Paccarati. And this is a really moving personal documentary that explores the story of a stolen moya, which we know as the famous sculptures of Easter Island, and how its absence is affecting generations of indigenous people on Rapa Nui. Leonardo is Rapa Nui, and these moya, means so much more than we know, and this is really a remarkable documentary that looks at one moya they call the stolen friend, who's now housed in the British Museum. We also have the 50th documentary by Alanis Obomsawin, We Can't Make the Same Mistake Twice, which is, I know, stunning work. And this again looks at into the human rights hearing spearheaded by Cindy Blackstock and her fight for equal health services for First Nations children. It's a stunning work, and this is playing Saturday morning, and really a must-see film. We have the world premiere of Colonization Road, directed by Michelle St. John, and features comedian and activist Ryan McMahon, exploring the history and impact of actual streets named Colonization Road throughout towns in Ontario. And again, a very interesting documentary. Finally, we have From Sapmi, a feature documentary called Sparuaban, Me and My Little Sister by director Suvi West, who presents a moving portrait of the unbreakable bond between 2 sisters and the difficulties faced by homosexuals in Sami communities. On the short film front, we have 82 short works in drama, documentary, experimental, and music video, 12 programs, including the Native Slam and the music video program. And in terms of I want to point out a couple of fun facts, because I love fun facts, but a couple of our shorts, I think, that speaks to the diversity of the artists represented at imagineNATIVE, and also the diversity of what an emerging filmmaker means. So we have our youngest filmmaker ever, Colton Willier, who is 8 years old and in grade 2 from Alberta. He directed Skateboarding Pants, which is playing as part of the #WarPaint program. And also the eldest emerging filmmaker, Louisa Papati, who is 64 and made her first short film, Cash Cash, from Quebec, which is playing as part of the Canadian program. So it's a remarkable, I think, testament to the vitality of the works being made in this country, and also the role of media arts to our communities and to our storytellers. And by reference, Alanis is 84 years old, so both Colton and Louisa have a lot of years left in them to make films. Other programming highlights include I'll go over our short film programs. We have Landscapes of Truth and Taking Aim, which are 2 fantastic programs suitable for youth, but intended for everyone. Solid Ground, which is our annual showcase of works by Indigenous filmmakers from Canada. Bearings, which is our experimental program, and our very popular Witching Hour Late Night, Midnight Madness collection, which again returns to a short format for this year. #WarPaint, which I mentioned, explores how artistic creation can be an act of empowerment, resistance, and renaissance. We have Adrift, which is our collection of international shorts, and the aforementioned Native Slam, which I'll speak a little bit about, which is a collection of 5 short films, each made by a group of 3 Indigenous filmmakers from around the world. This project was spearheaded by the Maoriland Film Festival in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and it's truly a collaborative affair. So the festival brought in 3 Indigenous filmmakers per team, so there were 15 of them, each given $800 in 3 days to create a short film. So we're very happy to present the international premiere of the Native Slam at imagineNATIVE. And our last shorts program is called Femme Totale, which features works by emerging Indigenous female directors from Canada and the USA, and this is the program that Devry's Stolen is featured in, and certainly not to be missed. This plays following Alanice's documentary on Saturday. There's literally something for everyone from all corners of the globe, all genres, all formats, so please, again, check out our programming. Moving on to our exhibitions, we have our showpiece exhibition, Wairua, which is right here at A-Space Gallery. I want to thank everyone at A-Space, Vicky and Rebecca, and also our partner V-Tape, who helped produce this beautiful essay and publication that will be given out at the exhibition. Indigenous Movie Monsters by Jay Sewell, which are the horror-inspired, indigenized movie posters that are out in the vitrines here. In other galleries, we have, in partnership with Gallery 44, Folding Forest Utopias for You by Yoar Nango, who is Sami, and Ore Body by Tsema Tamara Skubovius, who is Taltan. At Trinity Square Video, we have Winund Min, We Hear Them, a group show focused on sound waves curated by Lisa Myers. At YYZ Artist Outlet, we have Goldilocks Tahan Ogwali, Goldilocks and the Bears, a video installation by Zoe Lee Hopkins. All of these will be part of our annual and very popular art crawl, which takes place on the Friday of the festival, which has been sponsored by the Indigenous Visual Culture Program at OCADU. And as part of this event too, we have a special presentation in partnership with Pleasure Dome called Records and Reconstructions, Lindsay McIntyre's Portrait in Process, which is a special film performance and screening at the Artscape Sandbox. And it features a very special performance called A Northern Portrait, which is Lindsay's meditation on the Arctic in the form of a live 16mm looping performance on 9 projectors. There's a lot. There's still more. So we have our audio programming, and audio has always been a really essential part of imagineNATIVE, and often I'm asked, why do you guys have audio at a film festival? And well, we're more than a film festival, clearly, but audio still to this day remains a vital source of information, communication, entertainment for many Indigenous communities, and we're very happy to still have audio works represented at imagineNATIVE. We have 5 audio works from Canada and Australia, including a Canada-Zimbabwe co-production. Selected artists are Daniel Browning, Crystal Favel, Kim Wheeler, Janet Rogers, and Angela Starrett. And it features 3 long-form audio documentaries and 2 audio soundscapes. The artists in attendance will be featured in the free Audio Artist Showcase on Saturday, October 22nd at 11 a.m. Finally, our special presentations include Indigitalks, Son of the Sun, the life, art, and politics of Willie Dunn, which is being sponsored by the R&M Lang Foundation. And it focuses on the amazing legacy of the legendary Willie Dunn, who is acknowledged and honored as being the first Indigenous person in Canada to make a film, which is The Ballad of Crowfoot in 1968. Berlin-based Zachary Johnston will be here at the festival. He's a writer and a filmmaker. I think this is going to be a lovely honoring of Willie Dunn and his memory. Lastly, we have A Night for Chani, which is sponsored by RBC. This is hosted by Connie Walker, and this is a really special event featuring multi-performances honoring the memory, legacy, and life of Chani Wenjack, who you may have heard of in recent weeks. His story has really been coming to life more to the people's knowledge more over the past few weeks. And we really wanted to honor his legacy and spirit by having a roster of Indigenous artists in attendance. So we have an introduction by Senator Murray Sinclair, a reading by Joseph Boyden from his novella called Wenjack, which has been illustrated by Kent Monkman, a short film Snip by Terrell Calder, which has been written and narrated by Joseph Boyden, Giwe Da, which is a performance by Terrell Calder, and a musical performance by Digging Roots. So it's a really, I think, going to be an emotional, fantastic night and part of a larger call to action by Joseph Boyden for a National Day of Recognition for former students of Indian residential schools and survivors of and inheritors of the legacy. So please, again, check out our website. There is a lot going on again this year, and we want you to come to as much as you can. Thank you. I'm going to pass this on to my colleague, Daniel Northway-Frank, the Industry Director.
Thanks, Jason. And before I start, I just want to take a moment for you to see, as you've been seeing now, our fantastic new revitalized website. We underwent a bit of a death in the family, so to speak, with our last website, but it helped prompt us to re-envision and redesign it. So thank you to Savannah, Sufyan, and Dustin, and at the artistic direction and work of Jason Ryle to make sure that our festival website is as beautiful as can be and really helps direct you to the appropriate programming and all of our activities, both at the festival and year-round. So congratulations to them for doing that. And so I'm honored to be representing imagineNATIVE at my 8th festival. I can't believe it. I'm 8 years old as industry director, and I'm pleased to present this year's digital media and industry programming. So imagineNATIVE's digital media programming continues to push Indigenous art into new platforms with storytelling never seen or in this case, interacted with before. Digital media works include the interactive website Midden by Australian new media pioneer Jenny Fraser, Honor Water, a healing water singing and sharing game in karaoke fashion by gaming maven Elizabeth Lapensee, and Aroha Bridge, a web series from the acclaimed producers of Hunt for the Wilder People. We also welcome the return of 2 works from the Indigenous Roots Collective, supporting emerging female-driven gaming works, which include Festival starlet Thurza Cuthin's exploration of mental health through hand-drawn imagery in a video game format with A Bipolar Journey, while Megan Byrne returns with Sealskin, a 2D puzzle platformer that melds Cree, Inuit, and Celtic culture. This is also a big year for virtual reality. We have three 360 VR experiences whose connection to land make for a truly Indigenous storytelling form, including Tracer Rector's Chaksagi Eagle Bone, which played at the Seattle International Film Festival, most recently at TIFF this year, which uses freestyle spoken word and lush Pacific Northwest scenes, entering into a journey of remembrance and reflection on the lessons from the old ones and teachings that remind us that we are all individual vessels of spirit and change, yet inextricably connected. Poi 360 from Aotearoa, New Zealand, filmed in 2D and 360, comes an interactive documentary about one of the most recognizable icons of Aotearoa, the Poi. And Genie Award-winning filmmaker Lisa Jackson brings us into the milieu of BC's infamous Highway of Tears with a new 360 experience produced by CBC Radio's The Current in partnership with VR company Secret Location. Very exciting. All of these works can be seen at our returning Digital Media Artcade, supported by the Canada Media Fund, which is imagineNATIVE's immersive playground for digital and audio works, which emulates the nostalgia of an 80s arcade. Cinema audiences can interact hand-on with the future of Indigenous storytelling. The arcade is presented in the TIFF Green Room from Thursday to Sunday of the festival. Tours are available upon request by our dedicated volunteers. So this leads me into our robust and always informative industry series offering free public panel presentations on the art, craft, and business of media arts from an Indigenous perspective. We open the industry series with a kick-off Breck Feast and information session hosted by the Canada Council for the Arts regarding their new changes and opportunities for their soon-to-be-released new funding programs. The festival's famous short documentary and drama pitch return to bring little stories to the big screen for cash and prizes totaling over $12,000 in cash and $7,000 in in-kind services from APTN, Bravo Fact, William F. White, Hot Docs, TIFF, NFB, WIFT, Toronto, and Doc Institute, and imagineNATIVE. We bring VR to the forefront with a special spotlight this imagineNATIVE with featured artists discussing the art and their work with our Indigenous VR Spotlight. Fridays, What's Marketing Got to Do with It? Everything panel investigates the importance of marketing media works from an emerging artist perspective, and we look to leaders and our festival delegates to brainstorm in a sharing circle format the possibilities for Indigenous content development in the digital realm with discoverability of Indigenous content in the age of media abundance, what we all need to know. All this free and open public programming is available under the industry section of the festival website and app. For pre-registered applicants, we close this series with our popular micro-meetings where event decision makers meet creatives for sales, programming, distribution to the tune of $100,000 annually. And we're also excited to announce today public access to the World Indigenous Cinema Catalog, or WIC. Or we might call it WICO, because the word kind of looks like Wicca when you see it. In partnership with the University of Western Ontario's Department of Women's Studies and Feminist Research, a very extensive database of films by Indigenous creators with Indigenous content are now available in an online search engine. Users can search by a variety of advanced options, including themes, Indigenous affiliations, and language. This research will continue to grow and develop as a key online resource as the world of cinematic attention to Indigenous talent and stories grow. imagineNATIVE will look to internship placements at the organization to add new entries and maintain and enhance WIC's existing listings. And lastly, we're thrilled to have our first film mini labs for all of our creative disciplines: directing, producing, and screenwriting. For the inaugural imagineNATIVE Canadian Indigenous Film Director Mini Lab, supported by the Directors Guild of Canada, Ontario, imagineNATIVE will invite 4 emerging Canadian Indigenous directors with credits on professionally presented short film work to participate in a 3-day mini lab with established multidisciplinary award-winning Mohawk director Tracy Deer, whose breadth and quality of work and leadership role in the sector and community will bring value, perspective, and insight to participants. Sponsored by the Canada Media Producers Association, the imagineNATIVE CMPA Canadian Indigenous Film Producer Mini Lab is designed to hone the skills and knowledge base of 4 emerging Indigenous film producers through dedicated one-on-one engagement with established Indigenous creatives in the industry sector. And for 2016, imagineNATIVE has invited Canadian producer Laura Milliken, whose film Fire Song closed the festival last year, to lead this initiative. And lastly, we have our imagineNATIVE Harold Greenberg Fund Script Lab. So up to 6 selected participants and their short and feature excerpted scripts will be assigned industry mentors, including Ava Thomas, who is our resident last year, our story writing resident, who will spend over 2 separate sessions, 4 hours, to help push these short film projects one step closer to their final scripts. So it's an exciting lineup of public programming and professional development that imagineNATIVE strives to be the leader of for the larger media arts industry. I'm now happy to invite Ariel Smith back up to the stage. Thank you.
Hi, I'm back. Yeah, this is great, thanks. On Saturday, October 22nd, we will be holding the 17th Annual imagineNATIVE Awards Gala, presented by CBC. The awards is an opportunity to come together to recognize and celebrate the best of Indigenous cinema and media art. This year's gala will be co-hosted by actor and writer Craig Lazan and CBC's Rosanna Deerchild from Unreserved on CBC Radio 1. The gala will feature performances by Jeremy Dutcher and Tom Jackson, and will see us giving away over $60,000 in cash and services, including the Cynthia Licker Sage Award for Best Canadian Short Drama, presented by V-Tape, the Ellen Montague Award for Best Youth Work, presented by RBC, the Jane Glasgow Award for Emerging Talent, presented by the CG Foundation, and the Eleni Sobomsawin Award for Best Documentary, presented by TVO. We are also very pleased to launch at this year's festival the Kent Monkman Award for Best Experimental Work. And there's many other awards, and they can all be found in the festival catalog as well as on our website. And there's also information about the jury adjudication process and profiles on the jury members this year. Certainly a highlight of the awards gala will be honoring Tom Jackson with the August Schellenberg Award of Excellence in recognition of Tom's extensive body of work as an actor in film and television. The Augie Award is named in honor of the late August Schellenberg, a master at his craft, a national treasure, and a beloved member of the Indigenous theater, film, and television communities. The Augie Award is presented by Actor National, Actor Performers' Rights Society, and through generous individual donations. Special thanks is in order to Joan Karasevich and Augie's family for making this award possible. Before going any further, I realized that when we showed the trailer, I forgot to credit the amazing creatives behind the trailer. So I just wanted to give a shout out to James Monkman, who did the fantastic visuals, and Chandra from Puppy Machine, who did the fantastic audio that accompanied it. So just a little applause for them. My bad, I forgot to give them a shout out before. Please note that on Sunday, October 23rd at 9:15 p.m., following our closing night gala screening, a selection of short films recognized with juried prizes at this year's festival will be shown as part of our award winner screening. So we don't know who they are yet, but you should come down. They'll be announced, obviously, at the awards gala, and then you'll have a chance to check out any that you didn't get to see during the festival at this 9:15 p.m. screening. Following Saturday night's awards gala, we will keep the celebration going with our annual music performance and dance party, The Beat, presented by Factor. This year, The Beat is being held at the famed Horseshoe Tavern, located at 370 Queen Street West. It's just at Queen and Spadina. The Beat will kick off with a presentation of music videos that are programmed at this year's festival. The live performance lineup includes sensational up-and-coming artists Shawnee and Wolf Saga, interspersed with beats by DJ Ariel, not me, it's a different Ariel. I'll be there, but I won't be DJing. And headlined by one of Indigenous music's finest, battle-tested turntablist DJ Shub, who has a new album out. Individual tickets, ticket packages, and festival passes are on sale now and can be purchased 3 different ways. Online, over the phone by calling the TIFF box office between 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. daily, or in person at the TIFF box office located at 350 King Street West between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. The phone number to the box office, as well as links to purchase tickets online, can be found on the imagineNATIVE website. And as previously mentioned, all individual tickets to regular screenings are $5 now, so it's great. And if you're looking to take in a bunch of screenings or you want to take a bunch of people to specific screenings, our Flexi 5, 10, and 15 packages are available for $20, $40, and $65 respectively, which saves you between $5 and $15 depending on which one you're getting. So Flexi packages are a great economical way to enjoy the festival if you're planning to take in a bunch of stuff, and ticket packages are transferable and can be shared amongst multiple people, which is great. Discounted prices on ticket packages are available for students with ID, seniors, and self-identified low-income persons. Again, all morning and afternoon screenings are free for students, seniors, and low-income people. We should note, though, that the free tickets can be obtained the same day only, same day as the scheduled event or screening, and only at the TIFF box office. And all screenings and events at imagineNATIVE require a ticket to gain entry. So this means even if an event or a screening is free, you still have to get a ticket. You just have to get it from the box office, don't have to pay anything, still need the ticket. The only imagineNATIVE activities that don't require a ticket are the industry panels and workshops, some of which Daniel was discussing, and the art crawl, art exhibitions at the 401 Richmond building that Jason was speaking about earlier. Okay, this is a very important tidbit of information. If a screening has gone rush or is off sale, it doesn't mean that the screening is sold out. It just means that you're not able any longer to obtain a ticket ahead of time. It just means that you have to instead get into the rush line and wait for a ticket. 90% of all people that wait in the rush line at imagineNATIVE get into the screening, and probably the other 5% just left because they didn't want to wait anymore. It's very rare that you wouldn't get into a screening, so please don't lose hope if you show up at the box office and it says, or somebody tells you they're off sale or it's gone rush. It's not sold out. And more information regarding box office in general can be found on the imagineNATIVE website. And once more, full catalogs will be available at the festival, but the pocket guides and the festival website are available now, and the app is also available now for free to download. So, thank you so much to everybody for coming out. We're really looking forward to a fantastic festival this year. We're very excited. This press launch kind of really sets it in that it's real, that countdown timer on the website is good for that too. So thanks so much for everyone for coming out, and to those joining us online. We hope to see you all at the festival. Thank you. Hi, miigwech. Thank you.